Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, and I'm your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 7-day-a-week, 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 320 of our trek. This week we have remained in camp and around our campfire as we continue to dig for the nuggets of wisdom that are found in the book of Proverbs. So far we have explored the first 27 verses of chapter 10, and today we will finish up chapter 10 and head back out on the trails tomorrow. The section of Proverbs, which includes chapters 10 through 26, compares and contrasts bite-sized nuggets of wisdom that apply to everyday life. I know that you will enjoy listening to these as we learn together. Thank you so much for coming along with me each day as we explore and consume these nuggets of wisdom. These bits of wisdom will help us to live the rich and satisfying life while we are creating our living legacy. While some of our daily treks are a multi-part series, you can join us at any time and start along with us from that point on. If you would like to listen to any of the past episodes, please go to wisdom-trek.com to listen to them and to read the daily journal, which also contains some pictures. You can also subscribe to Wisdom Trek in iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. We are broadcasting from our studios at home too in Charlotte, North Carolina. On Wednesday evening, my sister Rebecca came over for our monthly dinner together, and we had a great time continuing our personal trek through old family pictures. We enjoy getting together, sharing, and remembering the days gone by. Life slips by so quickly, and it's good to take time to reflect on where you have been so that you can move confidently forward with your hopes and your dreams, as well as your challenges and rewards that life holds for you in the future. As we do remain in camp for one more day, it is for a time of reflecting on the wisdom nuggets that are contained in the book of Proverbs. There are so many, and this gives us a great time to reflect on their common sense advice and how they apply personally to our everyday lives. These timeless truths give us hope so that we will never be disturbed. And today, we want to look at Proverbs chapter 10, verses 28 through 32. How can we have hope for each day so that we will never be disturbed? This sounds like a difficult objective to achieve, so let's start out with verse 28 and find out how. Verse 28 says, "The hopes of the godly results in happiness, but the expectation of the wicked come to nothing." Now we all have hopes and dreams. For some of us they may be large and bright, but for others just making it through another day is their hope. If we have our hope in God, then even if our daily outlook is not what we would desire, we can still find happiness because our hope is not based on ourselves or on others that may have influence over us. Our hopes, our dreams, and impact are for an eternal reward, regardless of how small they may appear in the eyes of the world. Even the smallest act of kindness or help that provides hope for another will ripple through eternity. Contrasting to this, the expectations of those that do not have hope in God will all be for nothing. If all of our dreams and ambition are for this world only, then everything that we hope for will eventually die out and have no eternal value. Verse 29. "The way of the Lord is a stronghold for those with integrity, but it destroys the wicked." When our values and foundation for life is built on God's precepts and principles, then our speech and actions will have integrity. The trail that we travel each day will be on solid footing and a stronghold for us. In contrast to this, the very stronghold that we can use for our foundation becomes a heavy burden for those who do not follow God because their trail of life is not based on what is firm and solid. Verse number 30. "The godly will never be disturbed, but the wicked will be removed from the land." We have all seen and probably have used those signs in the hotel that says, "Do not disturb." And it is our hope that people will honor that. As a Christ follower, regardless of what happens in our lives, we should live in peace and not be disturbed by the temporary and fleeting issues of life. I know that few have really mastered this fully, and I certainly have not myself. In the context of this verse, it is particularly referring to being uprooted from a place of security. When we feel our life and the world is being disrupted is when we need to draw on God's strength to keep us from being disturbed. In contrast to this are those who are not following God's precepts and principles for life. They have no foundation for their security and will be easily uprooted from their safe haven. Verse 31, "The mouth of the godly gives wise advice, but the tongue that deceives will be cut off." As we looked at a couple days ago, it is best if we do not talk too much. When we need to speak, what we say should be pertinent and helpful to those that we're talking with. As we gain wisdom on our everyday trek of life, we will be in a position to offer or provide advice when the opportunity presents itself. Make sure what you say is good, godly, and completely truthful. In contrast to that, those who speak with an intent to deceive another should be stopped immediately. While we would not literally cut off somebody's tongue for being deceitful, we should not allow those people to speak, and if they do, we should not listen to them. Verse 32. The lips of the godly speak helpful words, but the mouth of the wicked speaks perverse words. This verse continues the thought from the previous one. If we follow God's precepts, then anything that we say will be to encourage, help, and strengthen those that are listening. Let us not waste our breath or words if they do not fulfill this principle. When we do hear people slandering others, speaking lies, and other perverseness, then we know that they are not following God's precepts and principles that are found in His Word. Let us never fall into this second scenario. Today we have finished up chapter 10 of Proverbs as we discovered and explored 5 more practical and timely nuggets of wisdom. Take time to consider them and apply them to your life. Let them permeate your thoughts and impact your life so that your living legacy is evident to all. Tomorrow we will head back out on our trail, and we want to make a stop by a baseball field. While I'm not a huge sports fan due to my focus on business, there are some real practical lessons that we can learn about life from baseball. So encourage your family and friends to join us, and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. That will finish our trek for today. Just as you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, we ask you to help us to grow Wisdom Trek by sharing it with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person as you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us each day. The journal for today's trek can be found at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, you are my friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. As we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.